This episode may contain explicit language. It's time to dig into our favorite parenting books.
This book just completely changed how I look at middle school children.
This is The Daily Dad.
Some of the parenting books sometimes are just like all fluff. This book, no fluff.
No fluff.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the poetry of Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yes. I love that one. Welcome to Care and Feeding, the show that's as honest and messy as parenting itself. I'm Zach Rosen. I make another show. It's called Weirdly Helpful. I am dad to Noah, who's 8, and Ami, who's 5. We live in Detroit.
Hey, I'm Lucy Lopez. I do another podcast as well, the Mamacita Rica. I'm mother to Amelia, who's 15, Avery, who's 13, and we live in Miami.
I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. I write a homeschool and family travel blog, Dutch Goose. I'm the mom to Henry, who's 13, Oliver, who's 11, and Teddy, who's 9. We live in Honolulu, Hawaii.
We are 3 friends with kids who meet up every week to talk about our lives, offer advice, and generally try to support each other through this weird thing called parenting.
And today, we're talking parenting books. Elizabeth got asked for recommendations from a friend, and sensational producer Cheyna is expecting in March, and she also wants some recommendations on some books she should check out. We love her so much, and we're going to do her a solid today with some of that.
And whether we like them or not, parenting books are a huge industry, even with seemingly every mom and dad with a camera putting out parenting podcasts, newsletter, YouTube channel, etc., etc. So yeah, stick around and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's time to dig into our favorite parenting books. Before we get into specifics, Elizabeth, what for you makes a parenting book good? There are we're living in the age of the influencer, right? So I feel like every kind of parenting influencer is putting out a book. Some of them are brilliant, I'm sure. Others are, cash grabs. So what are you looking for when you're collecting all these books?
I like a parenting book that makes me think about how to do something. Like that is having me change the way I thought something was, and then giving me kind of actionable steps to try. Or it needs to just be really funny and entertaining and make me feel seen. I think those are the two. If it's really good in entertainment, great. But I do think, that's what I like. How about you guys?
Like I said, I don't read many, but what I do like is when I can just dip in and out, because I have a hard time with nonfiction in general. I'm more of a fiction guy, but I really like just like reflections. I'm going to talk about this Ryan Holiday book. He's been on the show before. He's really good at just being concise and meaningful. So I'm looking at just okay, I have a couple minutes. I'm just gonna flip through this, but I know I'm not dedicating hours and hours to a parenting book.
I'm kind of on Zach's team for this one, but also if I do want to read up on parenting things, I just want to make sure that it's like an easy read where I'm not being, I guess, how do I say this without coming across?
You don't want to be lectured.
I don't want to be lectured, and I want to be able to really understand what I'm reading. And I'm not saying for the author or for the parenting expert to dumb down their theories or, their research for me. However, I would appreciate it if it's written in a way that is digestible, almost like a bullet point. Like I love bullet points. Like if I could just give me the bullet points and then give me a space to write next to it.
Ooh, like a workbook or a journal.
Yeah. I love that. I
really like doing parenting books as audiobooks. Like I said, I like to listen. I'm like a listen at 2.0. But I find, because a lot of it is fluff, right? Like a lot of these books are fluff. And so the audiobook, I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm doing other things. And so I find this a good way to take in information. So because I find them hard to read. Should we name some of our favorites? Mine are going to be a lot of them are ones I've mentioned on the show before, because I do kind of come back to the same ones. And I think for me, for babies, you like the Emily Oster crib sheet, where she just sort of breaks down the stuff about babies, I think is like a great book.
That's like a data book, right?
It's a good data book. Like this, it's going to set you up for kind of understanding what's going on. And in the same kind of way of that one for young kids, although have you read any of the Daniel Siegel, the Whole Brain Child is the one that I think is kind of the most well-known, is a really good kind of science book about babies' brains. And there's another one that I've just read that I like called Brainstorm, and that's about teen brains. And again, I feel like instead of necessarily being parenting, I mean, it is parenting, but it's sort of like, this is what the science is about these ages and stages and what's happening in the brain. And here are some behaviors from parents that support that or understand what you're seeing. And to me, that's the kind of information I like.
What's the most recent one you read?
For me, well, I'm reading The Lighthouse Parenting. Oh, I'm reading Smartest Kids in the World, which is an older one, but about kind of education in different countries. So there's like a kid in Finland and a kid in Korea, and looking at the education systems there and parent behaviors.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
This is one that we had, Chris Baum was on the show, and I'd love to link to the show that he was on. He wrote Finding the Magic of Middle School. I feel like if I had to name a parenting book that changed me the most, it would be this one, because I was dreading middle school so much and had heard so many bad things. And this book just completely changed how I look at middle school children with actionable things to do. And I think it has completely changed how we switched from parenting younger kids to kind of this transition time, and was a lovely handover into the teen years. So if you are having anxiety, you have kind of just before middle school, or you're having trouble in middle school, I think this book does a really good job of just like reshaping what a middle schooler is, what a beautiful period it is in their lives, and how to kind of handle these kids. This
is The Daily Dad, 365 meditations on parenting, love, and raising great kids. So Ryan Holiday, he studies Stoicism and writes a lot about Marcus Aurelius and kind of how Stoicism can inform the way we live our lives today. And this 365 meditations is based on his newsletter, which I get. And that's another thing that I do read newsletters, and I find that more manageable because it's just a little bit every day. And I thought maybe I just opened to a random page. I thought I'd read an entry.
Can I say too that he has a podcast that is short and lovely? Like I don't get the newsletter, but I listen to his like little podcast every morning.
Okay, so this starts off with a Marcus Aurelius quote: "These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone." And then he writes, it's very short: "At the core of most of the conflict between parents and children, and so often spouses, is one thing: judgment. We have opinions and they have opinions, and these opinions are the source of disagreement. If we as parents would like to have a better relationship with our children, there is one simple thing we can do. We can have fewer opinions. Do you really need to have an opinion on what kind of food is served at your daughter's wedding, even if you are paying for it? Do you need to have an opinion on the way they do their hair? Their friends are their friends. What does it matter what you think of them or their parents? So what if they like music that sounds weird to you? So what if they want to raise their own kids a different way? Few things in life are better off with your judgment hovering over them. Your family most of all." So just little nuggets like that.
That's a great book.
I really love his Instagram also, where it's mostly about books he loves. Like I think most days just like chooses a topic and then is like, here are 3 books that I love for this particular thing. Just like very refreshing.
Let's be honest, life gets messy, families fight, coworkers overstep, partners do weird stuff in bed. Luckily, Slate's advice columnists have seen it all. Sign up for the free Slate Advice newsletter and get our latest takes on sex, parenting, money, and every moral gray area in between, plus exclusive bonus letters delivered straight to your inbox. Subscribe now at slate.com/advice.
I have a book recommendation.
Do it.
That I haven't read at all. I did a lot of... Pero let me explain to you why I researched back and forth all weekend long. Amelia, I think, is navigating that tricky self-esteem situation right now. And things that I thought she understood about who she is, I was very wrong about. And like we always say, like when you have multiple children, each of them is completely different. So I feel like everything I've just been putting out about self-esteem and self-worth and who you are and all that, Avery Moore is like the one that like is all about it, right? She's like, I am a queen, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am intelligent, I'm all that. And then Amelia will go down the same list of things, but she'll go, and it's like a lot of self-doubt. And I'm like, what's going on here? And it raised a little bit of a yellow flag for us during the break. And we did a lot of conversation about our bodies, about, you know, how we present ourselves to the world, but more importantly, how we show up for ourselves in this world, right? And I wanted to find a book that was also a workbook. Like I said to you, I would love a place where we can like write notes. I love a journaling book. And I wanted something to help her and also to help me figure things out with her. And it's called Glow Up Self-Love Workbook, and it's for teen girls. And there's several like journal prompts in it where I don't think like you can pick a wrong answer. Like for example, one of the prompts is when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is look in the mirror and say something positive about yourself.
It's like a quiz, like
Yes.
like the old teen, Vogue
Yes,
quizzes or whatever,
like the
except
teen
that
Vogue
they're
stuff. Yeah, like check my phone or scroll through social media. C, think about everything I have to do today. D, hit snooze and go back to sleep. Like all these like little things that I feel come very naturally to me and to Avery are not coming too naturally to Amelia all of a sudden, or it's always been like that and now I'm seeing it. It's going to teach her how to like create a journaling routine. There's a gratitude journal page in this. I'm sure there's several of it in this workbook.
But it's like super cute. I'm looking at the.
It's very cute. And it's funny, Elizabeth. It's funny that you said earlier that some of the parenting books sometimes are just like all fluff. This book, one of the main selling points is no fluff. This book has no fluff, no pressure, just space to grow into the amazing girl you already are.
There's no lecture. This is a participation.
And you're going to find confidence boosting journaling prompts, tools to handle anxiety and peer pressure, mindset shifts to stop comparing, self-care rituals that actually work, boundary strength, real talk. So I ordered it last night because out of everything that Amazon and ChatGPT were suggesting, this was the book that really spoke to me. And then I shared it with Amelia. I go, hey, I found this workbook. I feel that we could both use this, And when she saw that it was a workbook, she lit up. She's like, oh, you could write in it? I'm like, you can write in it. She was like, oh, I love that. So I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to see, how it works out with her. She's excited to try it, and I'm excited to see what kind of conversations come out of this activity that we're going to be doing together as mother and daughter. So yeah, I haven't read it. I know we're supposed to read things before we recommend. This is something
this is a solid recommendation. It was just funny the way
the seat of my pants parenting for the past 48 hours.
Parenting.
It's my street parenting credentials.
This meets all of it. You relied on a community of other reviewers.
Yeah.
And your intuition.
Yeah. I was like, I think this is a good book. This is the one that keeps coming up. Read all the reviews and it checked off all the stuff
great reviews
were important to us. Yeah.
This reminded me, I wanted to recommend, we had Julie Bogart on the show talking about homeschooling. That was a previous episode, but she wrote a book called Raising Critical Thinkers, and there's a journal version of that as well. I think it's called, Becoming a Critical Thinker, a workbook. This is another one that I felt like kind of changed how I was doing stuff. Like we talk a lot about how we want the kids to think on their own, but in Raising Critical Thinkers, she kind of like delves into the science of our behaviors and how parenting, we can raise critical thinkers. And then much like Lucy's, I have not used the workbook, but I believe it's on the shelf behind me to kind of be integrated into some of our homeschooling stuff.
Over the break, guys, like there were like little moments where I was like, huh, what's up with you and that attitude? Why are we talking like that about ourselves? Ew. And in one hand, I have a 13-year-old who's very secure, very sure of herself, very. And then my oldest is, Amelia is just not, I don't know, something's not clicking. And I want to help her get through that.
Yeah, keep us posted.
I have one more.
Of course you do.
Obviously.
This is my non-traditional one. There's a book called, I recommended this like many years ago, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, The Poetry of Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yes.
And it's
I love
really, in my mind, a parenting book. But I think if you were going to have one and have it on your shelf, kind of like The Daily Dad, to just like pull out.
That's a great one.
In those moments, because really all of the songs that he sang are parenting lessons. And they read beautifully as poetry.
Remember earlier when I told you that you get lots of benefits being a Slate Plus member? Well, one of those is our bonus episodes. We put them out every Monday, and then we give tons of recommendations, and generally we have a lot of fun. This week on the Slate Plus Playground, we're talking about the best, and the worst New Year, New You, New Year, New You, New Me things we've ever tried.
Can you just give us a little taste of your best New Year, New You recommendation?
Yes, I'd love that you asked that question. Best New Year, New Me parent tip involves a calendar event titled We're in a Pickle.
Big pickle energy on this.
Huge pickle.
This week.
All right. Well, if you're a Slate Plus member, you can join us right now on the playground. It's live in your podcast feed right next to the show. Come on with us. The chaos continues. If you're not a member, you can sign up on Apple Podcasts in your player or by going to slate.com/care+.
That's our show. Wherever and however you're listening, please consider leaving a rating, telling us what you think of the show, and tell your friends. If you want more parenting advice, you can find Care and Feeding the column on slate.com. This episode of Care and Feeding is produced by the sensational Cheyna Roth. Micah Phillips is our video producer. Mila Bell is executive director of podcasts for Slate, and Ben Richmond is senior director of podcast operation. For Elizabeth Newcamp and Lucy Lopez, I'm Zach Rosen. Thanks for listening. If you want more no-nonsense advice about parenting, relationships, money, and everything else life throws your way, sign up for the Slate Advice newsletter. A special thanks to our Slate Plus members. If you haven't already, consider joining. Slate Plus members get unlimited access to all of Slate's journalism and help support our independent reporting.